All right, hello everybody. How you guys all doing today? We have Dr. Richtofen here again. Welcome everybody to LiveStream under the Moonshine number 188. Today we're going to be continuing with our kinetic novel we started last night, the one about cancer, the one that started getting sad and looking really grim for our hero, Jacob, I believe, what was his name? And we're going to get right back into that. Ice Dre, how you doing? Welcome, everybody. I want to go ahead and give a big shout out to my newest subscribers today that subscribed to my channel while I wasn't live streaming. Big shout out to Vicky Valov, Ice Dre. Ice Dre is here, I noticed. Welcome, Ice Dre. Welcome to my channel. We have Carrie Pierce also subscribed. Big shout out to Carrie. Dark Angel Gaming subscribed. Amar6418, welcome to my channel. And Macademic. Welcome all the new subscribers to my channel. Hopefully you guys enjoy some part of my content. Nearly 2,000 videos up on my channel now. So it may not have been a live stream that they were watching. It could have been one of the many other videos. All right, guys, I want to go ahead and remind everybody that tomorrow is going to be a huge day. Start a 24-hour live stream at 2 p.m. Eastern. So Games of Our Lives and live stream on the Moonshine obviously won't air. I'll be streaming video games, probably a lot of Dead by Daylight, and mixing in some other games starting tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern. During that live stream, we will auction off several different Steam games and let you guys kind of auction against each other. Also want to go ahead and show you guys here as well new stuff, new shirts for you guys to buy if you wanted to support me and my channel. I will have a trailer here soon, but Zaxtor99 shirts, we as you know, we already had the basic videos from the heart shirt available in men, youth, and women in a variety of different colors from white to black. And then we had the I Love Zaxtor99 on YouTube shirt, as you can see here, and in different colors as well. We have lots of different varieties. The third one that went up yesterday was a Let the Salt Flow t-shirt, Zaxtor99 on YouTube, also available in a multitude of different colors. But we also have a new shirt, guys, up today, and this is based on one of my comic strips that I wrote about 3 years ago on YouTube, back when I was a lot smaller. A comic strip inspired by my grandfather. Everybody called him Buddy, B-U-D-D-Y, and in my comic strip I call him Buggy. So you guys can find Buggy on YouTube, just as the shirt says there, but it has one of his angry, mad faces where he's screaming, which he did quite occasionally when I was growing up as a kid. And it says, warning, don't trigger me today, to try to kind of fit in with, you know, what people say today when they say don't piss me off and they say don't trigger me. So and that shirt, of course, is available in youth, women, and men's fits. And actually this one has 9 different colors that you can order it in. You can order it in all these lighter colors, and you can also order this Buggy shirt in the dark colors with a white text as well. So there you go, guys. So lots of different shirts for you to order to help to, you know, help show your appreciation for my channel here, should you enjoy it, and also help support me as well. So keep in mind tomorrow, guys, I also want to go ahead and give you guys some information here about the donation. The donations we're going to be taking tomorrow for the 24-hour live stream. I have set up a GoFundMe account, which will be taking all the donations. And with GoFundMe, the money does not go to me. The money goes, the GoFundMe page has charities already set up within the website. So when you guys donate to that, GoFundMe automatically sends all the donations, except for their 5% cut or whatever, to the website of my choice, to the charity of my choice. They do that automatically every month. So this charity is going to go for me on my GoFundMe. It's going to go for 6 months. We're going to do 6 24-hour live streams. Again, starting with the first one tomorrow, where my main point, hopefully I can raise funds and kind of help them out. But my main point of the live streams is to raise awareness for domestic violence and try to let people know that it's not something you need to be hush-hush about. It's something that if you're a victim of domestic violence, you shouldn't feel guilty or to blame, or at fault because of somebody taking aggression or violence against you in some way. So I would encourage people in those situations to not be afraid to call somebody like the hotlines available to them wherever you are in the world. There's hotlines available everywhere in the world. And let's go ahead anyway, guys. Let's go ahead and get back into the game. A game that's probably gonna make me weep. My voice cracked already a couple of times last night, and we only read about an hour of the game. So Dr. Rickfin, I wish I could buy those shirts, but I'm not in the USA. That story is sad. Oh, Waldo, how you doing, man? I'm so sad right now. I really want to stream. I love streaming more than anything. Oh, man. Yeah, I saw your video last night, bud. But congratulations on getting a really cool opportunity with photography and travel and everything that's going to go along with that. So that is good stuff, man. All right, guys. This visual novel or kinetic novel has to do with cancer. And we found out that a married man has been married for 5 years, I believe, and went to the doctor over what he thought was just, stomach pains, losing appetite and everything like that.
Afterthought Studios.
And he got the sad information from the doctor that he might have stomach cancer. And he referred him to the hospital, and a doctor at the hospital told him that he did indeed have stomach cancer, and it was in the late stages, and he only had a short time to live. Even if he went through like chemotherapy and painful treatment, that he was still going to have just a short time to live and to make the most of his life. So when we left off, he had already talked to his parents and his wife, kind of it kind of made me mad last night when his wife's parents came. His father and mother-in-law were in there just talking to his wife, and basically telling her to, start looking elsewhere. They was basically saying, hey, you need to start looking for, is there any other man you need to be happy? Who else do you know? That's kind of what it sounded like they were saying, what about Mark? What about Dave? Whatever they were saying. And the guy's not even gone yet, and they're already being like, oh man, you need, and so that kind of upset me because that felt really kind of messed up. Poor guy with stomach cancer. Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and load where we left off last night, and go ahead and continue reading. So welcome back, everybody. Let me make sure that the sound's up. Yep, we got everything set up. Okay. And he's back in pain. He's in the hospital with extreme pain right now. God, please make it stop. What is happening? As much as I tried not to cringe or make any sudden movements to avoid waking Lisa up, my body jerked and twisted involuntarily with each shot of pain that jabbed through my whole being by radiating from my stomach. It makes me cringe almost reading that. The supposedly strong painkiller isn't working as it did previously, and the pain is getting unbearable as it had started radiating towards my back. It has only been a week, and I am immune to it? Jeez, I wonder how those before me went through months or even years of this. Do they increase their dosage every other week? I don't want to imagine the type of tolerance or threshold of pain they have, nor the type of painkillers they were consuming on a daily basis. But for now, all I can do is hope the pain will ease. Better still, cease. please stop. Can you imagine having that kind of pain and just wanting the pain to stop, and painkillers are not working? And Lisa, he did wake his wife up, looks like. Huh, what is it? What was that? Looking a little confused and in a daze, Lisa seemed a little alarmed upon opening her eyes after one of my involuntary jerks. Honey, are you okay? She suddenly sprang up when she realized I was cringing, and as I tried to respond in between those painful moments, her eyes shot up with fear. My throat was coarse, and I tried to tell her my stomach was hurting, but it was probably nothing to worry about, and to go back to bed. Oh my God, are you okay? You're drenched in sweat. Dad, Mom. So she's calling her dad and mom. Her voice was almost hysterical, while she tried desperately to dry me with our linens and whatever her hands could grab hold of while hugging me at the same time. Damn. Starting off with the action and drama already. What's wrong? Please say something, Jacob. Tell me. What's wrong? Mom, Dad. Something's wrong. Are you in pain? Oh, God. Dad. I wanted to tell her it was okay, but the pain didn't leave me the opportunity or the strength to express that in words. I just nodded and stared at her panic-stricken face. Oh, how I hate to see her this way, and not being able to comfort me hurts me as much as the damn pain. At this point, I can hardly make out what's going on anymore except being shook, moved, and touched. The only thing I knew and was aware of was the agonizing pain. It overtook everything, numbing all my senses, and all I could make out were wails and sobs and being dragged into some sort of vehicle. So he doesn't even know what's happening. He just knows that somebody put him in a car, probably her father. My sight was much like that of a shutter camera in action, snapping every now and then when my eyelids were open, but no focus on any particular subject whatsoever. And just like that of an amateur photographer or a child playing with his very first camera, the pictures caught were shifted between blurry, dim, and total darkness. My hearing alternated between muted, dead silence and sudden cluttering of noises. Though I wasn't very conscious then, there's no denying the fact that I had preferred the dead silence and darkness. Somehow, it brought about a calmness, a deep peace, and it somehow did alleviate the excruciating agony of the pain for a brief period. It's weird, but I honestly wish to have drifted away peacefully with it, and I guess I did for a short period of time before a sudden soft pat on my shoulders and some incoherent sound broke my tranquility and bliss. I feel something forcefully springing me back into my being, like a drifting soul being sucked back into my body. I can only akin it to a sudden jolt of electricity that roused and sprung my motors and senses into motion, and with that, my pain and chaotic mind awakens. Damn. Lisa's like, honey, can you hear me? Oh, I think he's finally conscious. Finally? Yep, that's his dad. That's his parents. Son, can you hear me? We're in the hospital now. They are getting the doctor to attend to you. You'll be fine. Bear with us a little longer. You'll be fine, all right? You hear me, right, son? Mom and I, we're here. Everything will be okay. Honey, please stay with me. Human chattering, crying, sobs, panic attacks, panic sounds, movement, and then all quiet as I feel myself drifting back into the total darkness. Day 8. What is this feeling? Flying? Floating? Drifting? Am I dead? Whatever this is, it feels good. Yep, they gave him some stronger drugs, I'm guessing. I hope it never ends. And without the slightest warning, a sudden booming and cheery voice exploded into the calmness, followed by an unwelcome sense of touch on my body. A sudden intrusion brought an abrupt end to my peaceful journey and returned me into the dreaded heaviness of my body and consciousness. The confused and awakened mind now senses the presence of weight, pain, and confusion. Mr. Jacob? Mr. Jacob, can you hear me? Are you awake? My scattered mind raced back to try to make sense of that noise which I comprehend to be words, but without comprehension of its meaning until a minute later. Reluctantly, I brought my whole being back and opened my eyes. Staring at me was a blur apparition, looking down, smiling, blinking a few times and finally gaining focus. I saw that it was a doctor who was calling out to me. With him stood two nurses and faces as bubbly as his. The question I have here is, why is there no sound? Hang on, guys. Let's see. Let's go ahead and save this. Yes. Back. I'm kind of surprised there's no music or anything. I'm not hearing anything. Are you guys? All right. Let me exit, guys, just to make sure that we're not missing some music or something. Yeah, I feel sorry for that guy too, Dr. Richard. I mean, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't, right? Okay, I'm hearing sound now.
Afterthought Studios. Touching hearts.
I'm hearing sound now, so I guess the sound's working. Options. Sound volume is fully up. Music volume, we'll turn it up a little bit. Just to make sure. Back. Load. Load it back. Okay. Yeah, I guess there's just no sound at all here. All right. Though they aren't welcoming, a welcoming sight to me, just for the mere reason that they have intruded rudely into my peaceful world, I managed a forceful smile and I answered. Yes, Clearing my coarse and dry throat, I continued. I'm awake now. What happened? Where is... Clearing my coarse and dry throat, I continued, almost as if reading my thoughts and answering my question. Sound of quickened footsteps were heard fast approaching, and finally, a familiar voice which I truly welcome and miss so much. Doctor, oh, are you awake? Oh, honey. Lisa quickens her pace, and within seconds, she was next to me and holding me tightly for the longest time. I'm so glad you're all right and awake now. I missed you so much. God, I missed her too. Her voice, her warmth, her touch, her scent. I missed everything about her. Now you can hear music. Realizing the presence of the doctors and nurses who were still standing patiently smiling at us, Lisa quickly gained composure and turned around to face them. He is finally awake, Doctor. Thank you so much for everything. I am really grateful for all you have done and the care you have shown my husband. It means so much to me. Thank you, Doctor. Really, thank you. I don't know how... Don't mention it. It's my duty, and besides, I didn't do anything much. Realizing the presence of the doctors and the nurses who were still standing patiently smiling at us, Lisa quickly gained composure and turned around to face them. The doctor seemed genuinely pleased and happy at Lisa's gratitude. I must say I am pleasantly surprised by Lisa's attitude. I have seldom witnessed this side of her. Her sincerity in voice and expressing her gratitude and appreciation were so humble, pathetic even. Not that Lisa was an arrogant person, no, not at all, but Lisa is pretty much a prideful person who carries herself with dignity, and with that, you would seldom catch her thanking people more than once, even to me, unfortunately. Seeing her expressing herself in this manner allows me to see the other beautiful, softer side of my wonderful wife of 5 years. She must have truly loved me so much to have dropped and forgo her persona or ego, if I must call it that. For what it is worth on my condition, I'm thankful and grateful to see the depths of my wife's love for me. I have signed the papers, Doctor. Are you sure he is fit to be discharged today? Yes, I'm very sure. We have checked him fully, and he is allowed to go home now. Just remember to take note on his diet and what I have spoken to you about, and all will be fine. Mr. Jacob, please, tell me how you're feeling. I just realized I haven't had a proper conversation going with the doctor until Lisa's appearance and quickly responded. Actually, I'm feeling very fine, that is, until I was woke up. Realizing my tone of sarcasm, I quickly continued while praying he did not pay much attention to my words and my tone. It almost seems like I was floating and flying and in pain. My pain has miraculously eased a lot. Whatever you have done, thank you so much, Doctor. Doctor. Realizing at this point I didn't know the doctor's name, I tried squinting hard to catch those tiny words that were bearing from his tag, but Lisa, sensing that, was quick to make an effort to introduce him. Dr. Mark, he's Dr. Mark from the oncologist department, and he is in charge of your case. He's the person who has been attending to you all this time. Oh, yes, Dr. Mark, thank you for the miracles you have performed. You truly saved my life. And Dr. Richtoven's the name? The doctor seems to be chuckling at my response at this point. It's normal for you to be feeling floaty and almost pain-free because we have given you some very strong doses of painkillers and anti-inflammatory drugs. Oh. Yes, you passed out when they brought you in due to the pain you were experiencing, and that was caused by overeating. Plainly put, your gut system is very fragile at the moment and not apt to handle the pressure of pushing onto the stomach. Your tumor isn't very small, and its weight is already putting a strain on your gut, so hence the constant pain you are experiencing. With its presence and obstruction to the passageway, it's already a burden. What's more is when the constricted passage was suddenly forced to handle the massive amount of food that you ingested. But the good news is, it's nothing serious, just a slight inflammation. But please do take note on your diet from now on. We do not want to tax your gut any further to avoid possible complications. Are you sure I'm alright, doctor? I guess the bubbly doctor never expected to be questioned as he shot me a serious and questioning look. No, don't get me wrong, I don't mean to question your judgment or prognosis, but it's just that I feel like I just went through death and I was brought back to life again. The experience felt like, well, for a while, like I went into a dark place where I didn't feel anything. It was peaceful, pain-free, and the sudden, tensed and hardened grip from Lisa's fingers on my shoulders halted my words abruptly, and I realized what I had said. Thankfully, the doctor intervened and continued. I understand what you went through seems like a lot, but I assure you, it wasn't death. It does happen when our body is put under extreme stress. Our brain has this unique ability to shut itself off temporarily when the central nervous system becomes overloaded, and as in your case, extreme pain. It's our body's way of protecting us, and that's also the reason why you passed out. I'd also say the drugs would have contributed to what you were feeling. But really, Dr. Jacob, your condition, I can't see what it says. Anyway, your condition something. With his quirky response, I could feel Lisa's grip loosening. Feeling a little dejected, I tried to argue. No, doctor, you don't understand. It's more than that. I've never felt that way nor that sort of pain before. I couldn't even breathe properly, and I could feel my body literally shutting down. I felt myself slipping in and out of my body. I really don't know how to explain this, but oh wow. Now the doctor really looked amused and interrupted midway into my sentence. Yes, I understand that is what you went through. Let me reassure you and your wife here that what you have experienced is very normal. Your body went into shock mode because of the pain you were experiencing. Pain doesn't kill you, James, but shock, on the other hand, from a sudden pain trauma may, but fortunately, you were admitted and treated in a timely manner, and therefore no serious damage was done. And as for the acute pain you described as never experiencing before, I will try to be as keen as I can. And at that point, the doctor burst out laughing at his own statement. Feeling like a complete wimp, I decided to quickly end the conversation without making a fool of myself further. Oh, okay, thank you, Doc. Lisa jumped ahead of me without the thinking. No, thank you so much, Doctor. This is such a relief, and yes, it's nothing. He's just being a baby. Everything is fine now, thank you. He's just being a baby. As much as I like the softer side of Lisa, she's honestly beginning to look a little too pathetic and desperate at this point. It was very unlike Lisa to be so easily agreeable. She almost seemed to be hanging on to every word of the doctor spewed out like a gullible child, hoping and waiting to be handed out some candies of her choice. And when it did, thankfully thanking profusely for it. What has happened, my strong-headed and dignified wife? Her sudden transformation cuts me like a knife, and I only have my condition to blame for this. The doctor is you, Dr. Rickman? After some small chat with the doctor, he left together with the nurses while Lisa went off to sign more papers, pack, and collect some medication that the doctor prescribed earlier while I changed out of the hospital gown and into the set of clothing Lisa had brought for me from home. As I sat watching my wife busying herself getting my things ready for discharge in a disarray fashion, from running out of the room to scrutinizing my medication to calling out to the nurses passing by for whatever reason it was that she had wanted, it suddenly dawned on me the seriousness of my condition. There will come a time soon that Lisa would be left attending to all matters and chores without me by her side to watch and protect her, and most importantly to catch her when she falls, if she should fall. Damn. That'd be a hard thing to realize. God, I need to do something. I need to fix this before we leave. Reflecting on earlier accounts of the doctor, my mind starts to wander, and images of Lisa alone and helplessness pops up. Are you all right, miss? No, my husband just left me. I don't know what to do now. I'm so lost. Can you help me, please? The stranger says, it's all right. Can you lean on me? You can lean on me for support. How can I help you? Oh, wow. Damn. So he's imagining her leaning on some other guy, I assume. Yep. That would be tough. That image, though spanned from my silly imagination, burned deeply like an acid into my being. No, Lisa's stronger than this. Remembering her sudden transformation, though, maybe not. God, I don't know anymore. I'm simply scared and disturbed, not over the fact that she may start depending on another being other than me, although I will admit that I am very uncomfortable with that foreign thought, but more so that she may be running around in a hopeless and lost manner, and when in such a vulnerable state, she will surely be gullible. My heart sank. Jacob, honey, what's wrong? No, nothing, sweetheart. I was just thinking. Okay, but please try not to think too much. I'll go down to arrange for a cab, and I'll be back shortly, all right? Meanwhile, try to relax. I won't take long. Though I doubt I could relax, I smiled and nodded while she gave me a quick peck on my head and went out of the room. I'm sorry you have to do all this for me, Lisa. I should be the one who is taking care of you. I can't help but let out a long sigh. I'd always wanted to be her rock, her knight in shining armor, her fixer whom she turns to fix everything for her. Now, not only am I incapable of all those things, I'm also instead a burden to her. I've been a big one at that. Not for what happened, I would not really have understood the severity of my situation. If for not what happened, I would not really have understood the severity of my situation. Since that fateful revelation, I have only spent most of my time reminiscing on our beautiful past, when I should have been making full use of my remaining time in preparing Lisa and focusing on securing her future, without me, should the unwanted happen. Jacob says to himself, "What are you doing, Jacob?" I realized that I needed to be practical from now on and doing what is right for the sake of my beloved wife's future. No more wasting time on silly reminiscence. For her, I vow to only leave good memories and a secure life. That will be my goal from today onwards, and a promise I wish to keep and fulfill before I leave. Yes, Lisa, I promise you. And she comes back in the room. Promise me what? Why are you talking to yourself, Jacob? You're so deep in thought, you didn't even realize that I just walked in, did you? Her sudden appearance and voice totally knocked me out of my thoughts. Cab is here. Let's go, honey. On the way home in the cab, I casually asked Lisa if her parents are all right, as I felt a little guilty for the commotion I had caused yesterday, and if they know that I am coming home today, she shot me a look and simply gave a curt reply. Oh boy. And Lisa says, I've sent both of our parents home. Their presence isn't doing you any good. I hope you don't mind me making that decision, but I think it's for the best, and they understood. On the way home in the cab, I casually asked Lisa if her parents were all right. Oh yeah, I already read that. She held my hand and looked at me for a response. Her parents are bad. Hey, how you doing, Kingslayer? Welcome back, man. Not that I mind at all, but honestly, it was all too sudden. They had just arrived. They were suddenly thrown into a situation that they were unprepared for, and they were now asked to head back. I don't know about Lisa's parents, but I'm sure Mom would be worried sick knowing her. I made up my mind to call her the minute I got home. Is everything okay, honey? Are you upset with me? No, honey, of course not. I pulled her closer to me. It's just that, isn't it all too sudden? I mean, they just arrived and then all this happened. I'm sure my mom would have almost had a heart attack witnessing me in that state, and then to be sent back home without even being able to see me. She's a nervous wreck. You know that, Lisa. No, they know you're all right. They were at the hospital yesterday. The doctor enlightened them on your condition, and so they are fine with it. Hey, are you upset with me? No, but it just seems a little bit rude, and I pulled her closer, and at this point I could see Lisa almost breaking down. Uh-oh. I'm just doing the best for you, Jacob. Don't you see it? It isn't the last time you're seeing them. You can see them when you're better, which you will be. This isn't the last time, Jacob. You're not dying yet, so stop making it like you're dying right now. Her voice was getting pitchier by the second, and I can almost see it coming to a peak before erupting into a stream of tears. And the doctor says a stress-free environment would be good for you, for recovery, for your condition, and for... It's all right, sweetheart. I get it. I'm sorry. I understand. I love you, and I thank you for worrying about me. I really do appreciate it. And with that, I quickly gave her a peck on the forehead, and I hope it will be enough to soothe her from breaking down again. I can feel her body shaking slightly from the overwhelming emotions building up within inside her. I made the effort to quickly lock my fingers with hers. I brought them up to my lips and kissed her hand. I could hear her heaving quietly, controlling her breath and trying hard to calm herself down. I think the wife is getting scared by the minute due to the guy's stomach cancer getting worse. Yeah, probably so. I'm sure so. Dr. Rickman. I mean, good analogy. From the corner of my eyes, I could see the curious cab driver taking peeks every so often at the rearview mirror. I don't blame him. We were talking about my condition and about my imminent death. I don't blame him for being curious or wanting to be part of this exciting drama of a dying man, even though if it's just as an audience. And I guess that was the end of our parents' visit. The journey home were from then on only fulfilled with silent thoughts and curious peeks. As soon as I entered the door to our home, I quickly picked up the phone, calling his mom. And Mom's like, "Hello." "Hi, Mom, it's me. Oh, God, it's you, Jacob. Dad, he's home. He sounds okay. Quick. No, no hurries, Mom. I'm still here. You guys all right? I'm sorry for worrying about you guys so much. Please, don't be silly. Wait, your dad's right here. Sonny, hey, you're back? Oh, Dad says this. Sonny, hey, you're back. How was the rest of the hospital? Good? You feeling refreshed now? I can hear my dad trying hard to laugh at his own corny jokes again. It was just like him to come up with the weirdest jokes to try to lighten the mood. I heard a small crack, presumably from Mom, and then it was her again. Don't mind your dad, always saying the most stupid things. I'm glad you're home, and please don't worry about us. The doctor says you need lots of rest, so please make sure you rest. Yes, I will, Mom, and thank you for both understanding. Sorry again for yesterday, okay? Fortunately, though worried, they sounded fine, and that was a big relief. Day 8. I thought we already read day 8. I mean, yeah. Lisa's in a deep slumber now and snoring quite a heavy bit. I don't blame her, really. She must have been really exhausted from all the drama and running around to get tons of things in order while I was resting happily and indulged in a peaceful world of the hospital. Thinking about that really made me cringe and shame how selfish I've been, even telling the doctor about the peace I experienced right in front of her without a thought of how she was feeling when she was already so lost and so scared, and even secretly hoping I wouldn't be woken up, but to be left to continue in my indulgence when there's so many affairs that have not been addressed or taken care of yet. Feeling regretful, I stroked my beautiful wife's face. Damn, he's already feeling guilty. He's feeling guilty for his wife having to, being through so much emotion and heartache and having to take care of him, basically. So he's already feeling really, really guilty about, he's feeling guilty for dying when he hasn't even died yet. He's feeling guilty for leaving his wife alone, and he hasn't even died yet. And I can imagine that would be a pretty natural reaction to knowing you're going to die, leaving, your wife or a woman that you love that much alone in the world without you. How you doing, Boxhead? I am sorry, Lisa. I'm sorry for being so damn insensitive. And all this time, you were running about taking care of affairs, hospital affairs, because of me, our parents, and getting my resignation letter across locally to the company. I'm so proud of you, Lisa. I really am. She's asleep, though. Yes, I am very proud of her. She managed to do all those in the span of a day while I just slept. She had said, after admitting me and speaking to the doctor, that she made sure our parents stayed with me while she ran back home to pack some stuff she had brought to the hospital and dropped off by the company before heading back to the hospital. She had explained briefly my condition and the reasons for my resignation, giving them no chance to say and told them she needs to rush back to the hospital to attend to me, and that she hoped they would understand. She related they shook the shock in their faces, but they were all very understanding, especially when they knew that I had just been admitted into the hospital. I guess they had just pitied her. Watching her slump off into bed right after making sure I had taken my medicine really hurts me with guilt, however. It's funny how she said I'd be knocked off in no time after feeding me with what the doctor had prescribed, evidently to help me sleep through the pain, but instead, she herself had fallen asleep as soon as her head hits the pillow, while I'm still so fresh and wide awake now. Yes, it's undeniable that the pain is slowly creeping back despite already taking the painkillers. However, that isn't the reason why I'm unable to rest. My mind is swirling with the thoughts and worries and unresolved issues. Lisa's future and actions that I need to take, my own selfish thoughts and worries and fantasy of me finding a miraculous cure will have to take the back seat from now on. I can't waste any more precious time. My experience the day before had taught me that life is way too fragile to be taken for granted, especially in my condition. Tomorrow, I'm going to have to start making plans and take the necessary steps. I pledge within my best ability to lessen my wife's burden during my remaining days here on Earth. Also, I need to start looking into preparing her or prepping her emotionally for my imminent death so that she's able to cope and remains fully functional during and after my passing, especially without the need to depend on anyone else to ease that transition. Zaxter, you're so good at being a narrator. Thanks, Dr. Rickman. I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. I know I'm beginning to sound like I've given up hope, though I will not dismiss the fact that, hey, maybe by some miraculous deeds, I'll be cured, but I will not be dwelling on that, and truthfully, I am more of a realist than to expect that. I just have to face and accept my fate, make necessary preparation, and be practical from now on, if not for my own sake, for the person I love the most. Kissing her on the forehead, I whispered, "Good night, Lisa. I love you very much. Thank you for everything today and every day. Thank you for being you and for being my lovely wife. I will do what is right, Lisa. I love you, and I always will." And Lisa Lisa slightly stirred before snoring aloud again. Diary entry number 6. After yesterday's heart-wrenching scene of my beloved wife lying lifelessly drained from the day's activities, I've decided to start with making a list of priorities to be addressed, like insurances, my will, and basically important paperwork, and in between the things that Lisa needs to learn when she is on her own without me. The basics of things I think is important that she should know, those of which I have been doing and probably she has taken for granted. Today, I'm going to put things in order. Oh, you read a book called The Bloodline. Nice. It was a nice book to read. Very cool, Dr. Rickman. I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you for reading a book. Good morning, sweetheart. Time to wake up, sleepyhead. Oh, I can hear some music coming now. I can hear some music. You guys hear the music? I bend down to kiss my beloved wife on her forehead and gently rub her shoulders. Oh boy, you're up early today. Wait, what? Why are you awake? With that, she suddenly shot up from her curled position and stared at me with her big, round, bewildered eyes, which was pretty freaky, to be honest. What's wrong, sweetheart? Are you okay? Are you having a nightmare? Let me turn the music up a little bit. No, but what are you doing up so early? And already all changed too? What time is it? Oh my god, did I oversleep? Are you alright? How long have I been sleeping while you were awake? I didn't hear anything, honey. Hey, slow down, sweetheart. It's okay. I'm alright. I just had to let you sleep for a little bit. You've been a superwoman these last 2 days, no? So, don't you think you deserve a good night rest? And don't worry about me. I'm fine. I had an excellent night's rest, and I'm feeling very refreshed right now. I gave her a big, bright smile while I shamefully lied through my teeth. No, I did not have a good night rest, and I did not feel good, but there are more important things to attend to. So I thought, why not wash up and prepare breakfast for my sleeping beauty, who is getting her well-deserved rest. With a smile still plastered across my silly face, I expected her to be touched by my words and actions. Instead, I was greeted with another bewildered look and panic on her end. She knows him too well. Oh my god, Jacob. You even made me breakfast? Why? Why are you doing all this when you aren't well? Are you sure you're okay? I'm so sorry I didn't hear you. Please, sit down. No, as a matter of fact, please rest, honey. By this time, she was already tugging me down under the bed, presumably to tuck me back in. But then, as quickly she turned to stare at the clock on the wall while rubbing her eyes profusely. Have you taken your medicine? What time is it? Oh, it's almost time, Jacob. Do you know? Lisa, honey, calm down, please. What is wrong with you? I know I have a dreadful, incurable disease, but that doesn't mean I'm immobile and that I'm decapitated. In fact, I'm still very capable and I'm still very strong. I know I have been on a vegetable diet these last days, but that doesn't make me a damn vegetable. Not yet. In my sorrowful and failed attempt to amuse her and lighten up the solemn morning scene, I have instead fueled her with more concern, and her eyes shot up even bigger at my pathetic and corny jokes. What disease? Oh, God, Jacob, please stop. I just woke up. Please don't even start with that word. Why do you have to say such things? And first thing in the morning, too. And no, Jacob Cutler, it's not curable. Do you hear me? There is still hope. Or it is curable. And no, Jacob, it is curable. Do you hear me? There is still hope. Why must you say such things, like as he said, incurable disease? Please, just stop. They're kind of fighting, huh? They're fighting over it's stressful situation. I mean, can you imagine? Her worried look from the earlier slowly morphed into that agitation and now anger. What was meant to be a silly joke to lighten the morning mood proceeded into a series of long and gruesome arguments. What a way to start the day off, really. And here I had high hopes, too, that we will be planning and attending the crucial task in a loving manner together. So the whole morning and afternoon went by with a series of bickering on this damn subject. Oh boy. Honey, there's no denying that I may die, and it may be just a matter of time, so you cannot be so uptight about it. It's a fact you need to face soon. So can you please be a little more realistic? Basically telling her that they're not going to find a cure. I am being realistic, Jacob. I acknowledge that you have this condition known as cancer, but that doesn't mean you're going to die. That isn't reality. Reality is that people do get cured from this. So why are we talking about preparations like you've just given up, and you've given up hope, and that you're going to just move on? Wow. She decides to refer to my dying as moving on now. How amusing. Look, no, I didn't mean it that way. You know very well that I'm taking precautionary steps should it happen to me. I'm just saying that you ought not to dismiss the fact, and we should prepare you up and get things in order for when the time does come, so it's easier for you. Don't you see what I'm trying to do here? Really, I've had it. When the time comes, are you that adamant on moving on to that nice, peaceful, dark place without me? Oh, wow. Lisa, can you please just have some faith? You may not be moving on, so stop on with the excessive obsession that you're moving on. Stop being so damn pessimistic. I isn't written in stone, so it is not subject to be discussed for now. Please? She doesn't seem to want to go anywhere further than acknowledging my illness. But if not now, when I have actually moved on, who are you going to discuss this with at that point? And Lisa, I'm not being a pessimist. I'm trying to be practical here. Lisa turned away, pretending not even to hear me. Hey, Falconer, welcome back. Deep in my heart, I know she is just looking for an excuse to avoid the inevitable. My heart is filled with sorrow just knowing the fact that she may not be capable to handle what is to come. How is my beloved Lisa going to cope then? Visions of her walking aimlessly and lost plague my mind again. Okay, maybe not now. Maybe she isn't ready yet, but I only hope she wakes up soon enough before time runs out. Not wanting to continue with the unfruitful argument and fueling more irritation amongst ourselves with our different views here, I retreated to our room to take some physical notes, listing down to-dos and priorities while Lisa went about her chores. Noting down all that I think ought to be carried out, I went through the list of priorities. Many are waiting to be struck off, and right up there was the medical and life insurance. Lisa, have you at least checked on the insurance that I asked you about? No, I'll do it later. What the hell, honey? I told you that it is utmost importance. Were you even listening to me? What are you doing in the study room the whole time? Feeling a little agitated at her relaxed manner while I was working and worrying my ass off for her future well-being. Hey, what is with your cursing? You've never spoke to me like that before. She sounded sore, hurt maybe, but hey, I am not in any mood nor have the privilege of time to entertain and pacify whatever emotions she's feeling. There are more serious matters to attend to, and I do not have that privilege called time. And I was reading the Bible, if you must know, to pray for our situation and ask for divine intervention. In case you've forgotten, God can and does perform miracles, Jacob, whether you believe it or not. Damn. It's getting tense. It's getting tense here in their relationship. She sounded annoyed and yet almost sarcastic. What the hell? I could not help but cursing again, softly under my breath this time. Is she kidding me at this time? Can't she at least make sure the papers are in order before indulging in that? Indulging in a Bible? Anger and irritation swept through me. I'm so frustrated right now that I don't know where to vent, but I really need to blow off some steam, and I definitely don't want to start another argument with Lisa. Not right now. Suddenly, an idea struck me. Yes, I think I'll vent those in my journal. Where is it? Ah, there you are, my faithful friend. I do not know when it really started, but I honestly found solace in writing in my journal these days. It's a place I can retreat to in expressing and sharing my thoughts, my fears, and now an outlet for my rants. Also, the thought of Lisa actually going through it after my passing and knowing my feelings and what I went through for her is kind of a bonus too. Diary entry number 7. I'm making an effort to continue writing despite having a terrible day without making much progress, so I'm going to rant here to blow off some steam. Despite being plagued with worries and not being well rested, I woke up early this morning with renewed zest and energy to try to carry out my plans. Never did I expect it to turn out so sour, stressful, depressing, and an unfruitful day with more bickering than anything else. Lisa just doesn't seem to understand the urgency nor see the intensity of the situation she's facing, and it is not only a time-consuming chore to explain it to her, but one which is proving to be futile. I am surely as frustrated as hell right now. Not only is she appreciating what I am doing, or not only is she not appreciating what I'm doing and putting her well-being above my condition, she's wasting precious time. And to add salt into my wounds, she actually thinks and calls me a pessimist. A pessimistic indeed. For as long as I can remember, I have always prided myself as being a pragmatist, the practical one who seldom dwells in emotional states, but one who sees the big picture and with a keen eye is in identifying any problems present. I will add that I'm also quite quick in proceeding to find a solution in a realistic, practical way. That has always been me, and she knows it. In fact, she has even told me countless times that there are those are traits she admires and loves about me. It made her feel secure to know that her man thinks with a clear, straight head instead of acting out of emotion and rashness. What happened to that? Not to mention, refusing to see, face, and make preparation for the situation is definitely not being optimistic. It's being downright irrational and absurd. I understand that she's probably scared, and she needs to have some kind of hope and faith, but by dismissing reality and relying on praying, and thinking that all this will just go away, I'm just so worried that she's going to be in for a devastating shock. What scares me even more is the possibility that she will continue being in this denial mode until it's too late. Will she really be able to cope with the ultimate reality staring at her face at that point without preparation whatsoever? By then, what is going to happen to her? Will she have a breakdown? Will she be then blaming me for not preparing her and questioning her own faith, or worse, have both a physical and mental meltdown? He's writing in his journal his emotions right now, Dr. Richfin, because he didn't want to continue arguing with her. I'm having so many visions of Lisa wandering around in a sorry, lost state, and it scares me. As much as Lisa seemed to be a tough cookie in the eyes of our colleagues and associates alike, she is really a very fragile person. That is where I compliment her perfectly. I am her confident. How do you say that? I am her confidant, her ultimate rock where she is able to depend and lean on for comfort without fail, and a fixer who fixes almost everything. I guess I have no one to blame for this present sorry state of affairs. Maybe it's my fault for constantly allowing her to indulge in unreasonable, optimistic views. Yes, sometimes to the point of pure silly gullibility. But I had always thought that as long as it doesn't cause her physical harm or anything grave, I would never stop her from continuing her indulgence in her ways. I suppose I knew I would always be there to pick her up, or pick up the broken pieces and fix it when something doesn't work out. I am also guilty of encouraging her in her silly ways, just because I love seeing her happy, and being able to express herself freely, without any restriction with me. Yes, I admit that I've spoiled her, and it's all because of my unfailing love, that my love for her, that I'm allowed to do it. I allow her to be the optimist that she is, and even to the point of silly gullibility, because I just love to see the bright sparkle of hopes which shines through her eyes when she is filled with hopes and with dreams. However, not this time. I can't let her dream any longer, because I won't be there to comfort her anymore should things don't work out the way that she expects. Will this tough cookie crumble now that I won't be around anymore? I truly fear for the worst. I will and have to keep on pushing until she recognizes and faces the facts, no matter how hard it is. What I once admired about her, her faith and silly optimism, now seem like a dreaded disease. I am worried that the silly optimism trait of hers will be the cause of her future sorrow. I must persist to make her see and accept. I think I'd better go back to what I was doing. And Lisa, if and when you chance come upon this, I want you to know that I am sorry. I'm sorry for not being able to allow you that anymore. I'm sorry for not being able to spoil you that way anymore. Though it hurts me to not be able to do it, it is for your own best, and I hope that after I'm gone, and after you do read this, I hope you'll understand why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I hope that you can forgive me. Damn. What a rough day, huh? God, that felt so good. Smiling and feeling a burden load off my chest, I'm glad to have a journal to complain and rant in. Now, let's get back to work. We really didn't chat the whole afternoon after that tiff. I don't know how she chose to spend the day, but I decided to continue making full use of it by writing down notes on all the important things that needed to be attended to before my passing. And on top, and one of the main priorities more than ever now, was to make Lisa see and accept reality. Jacob, it's time for your medication. Please take them. But after your meal, I know the meal may not look appetizing, but it's something that the doctor recommended. It's light on your stomach. I'll hope you'll eat soon. I will leave them here. Lisa entered the room with a tray filled with water, my medication, and my lunch. I am grateful, however, that in the midst of our silent mood, she still remembers to bring me my medicine and soft food, which she has faithfully prepared. And with that, she left the room after placing them down on the side table that we had next to the Chase lounge. Funny, she still worries about meal and medication when there are more highly important things to worry about. Trying to break the silence, I decided to ask her what she'll be doing after. Hopefully she's decided to at least start something that I may breathe a sigh of relief to. Lisa love, what are you doing after this? Some matters I've left unattended before you were hospitalized, and don't worry, I'll get your stuff. I was sincerely jaded with her answer, but considering the fact of it had only been a day since we'd got back from the hospital, I decided not to push it for today. When evening came, she seemed to still be holding on to the Bible and reading it every now and then, alternating between that and her computer. She seemed to be very busy and consumed with those two things for hours. Walking past her every now and then, I made sure to take quick peeks, glances, curious to know what could be more important than my sickness and her future that she should be worrying about and should be attending to. Peeking back at me, I saw tabs upon tabs opened on the screen, some of which had the word Bible in the URLs, and some which had some kind of treatment, presumably for cancer. So she's online trying to find, quotes about religion and hope. Basically, she's looking for both hope and cures for cancer, researching cures for cancer, and, she's like you would expect any loving wife, trying to cling on to whatever she can, whatever hope she can, trying to find faith, trying to find something to believe in, trying to find something to believe that her husband is not going to die when everything looks like, it could happen at any time. I would agree with Jacob that he is definitely being a lot more realistic right now. And he's wanting to face the facts, but she's wanting to hold on to hope, and it doesn't sound like he has a whole lot. So, I understand both of their sides. It's kind of easy to understand what both of them are feeling and what both of them are thinking. I think the visual novel, or the kinetic novel that we're reading here, does a pretty good job of that. All right, guys, this visual novel, this kinetic novel, is pretty emotional, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. We only have 4 people here, but with us, guys, I'm going to make sure that we are not reading making these too long of episodes. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. We read about an hour of content yesterday. It was about an hour and a half, but about 30 minutes of it was me trying to tell you guys how important reading can be and how things can be told in words that, television or a video game can't possibly explain better than a book or text. So, yeah, even the music makes it sad. Absolutely, Dr. Richmond. So we're going to leave it with that, guys. We're going to go ahead and save this game at this point. Yes, we're going to go ahead and overwrite. And we're going to continue, probably not tomorrow because I have a 24-hour stream going. But, yeah, probably Saturday night after my live stream. It'll be Saturday night, guys, at midnight Eastern. I assume when we continue this. So it'll be a couple of days before we continue with me, but we got quite a bit left. I don't even think we're halfway done with this, guys. I don't even think we're close to halfway done. So this will probably be 2 or 3, 4 more episodes of live stream of Moonshine. So we're gonna kind of milk this particular episode a little bit, just because I don't want to end up having like 2-3 hour episodes of this. I think it would be emotionally draining for one. Not only for me, but for my listeners to listen to this kind of drama, this kind of sadness and everything like that for like 3 hours. I think it'd be crazy. What time is your 24-hour live stream? It'll be 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Yep. So we will probably start off with some Dead by Daylight, but who knows? We're going to mix in some other games, and we're definitely going to have some auctions, you guys, for some Steam games as well. Let you guys spend some of those Zax coins you've been collecting. Alright, guys, I want to thank you guys for being here with me in my live stream under Moonshine, number 188, and we'll continue with number 189, I assume, Saturday night. I'll probably be pretty tired after streaming for 24 hours, so whenever I wake up Saturday night, that is when I'll be doing live stream of the Moonshine. But tomorrow, guys, 2 p.m. Eastern, we start a 24-hour live stream. And we'll start that. That's only in about 12 hours. So I want to go and thank you guys for being here. You guys are awesome. I love you all. Dr. Richard, thank you for being here. Who else did we have here? We had, I believe, Boxhead came in, Kingslayer. Yeah, I don't know who else here right now. Devamon was here for a minute. Waldo was here. Glitch was here for a minute. Stray. I think some of those people have actually left. But, guys, tomorrow, about 12 hours from now, 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, I guess it's 13 hours. A little less than 13 hours. We'll be starting a 24-hour live stream. I want to thank you guys for being here. You guys have an awesome rest of your day or night, and we'll see you then. Hopefully, I'll see you guys for at least part of my 24-hour stream when we try to raise donations and awareness for those dealing with domestic violence. Love you guys all. Have a good one, everybody. Peace.